Najee Harris is active for week number 14, Thursday Night Football against the New England Patriots. But is he the running back to own in Pittsburgh for week 14? We're going to talk about Jaylen Warren, Najee Harris. We're also going to talk about this man, Kenneth Walker, peeping over from the corner here. Is Kenny Walker playing week 14? Is Zach Charbonnet available for week 14? We got a little bit of news, ETN news, Amari Cooper news, Jonathan Taylor news, and Thursday Night Football Convo, the Fantasy Football Show. It begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live!
Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
Ladies and gentlemen, we do have some news here. Najee Harris active for week 14. Look, I think they are featuring Najee quite a bit. And this offense, the way that it's been, you could say, revamped, there's a lot of production to be had potentially. We'll see how it shakes out tonight. This is going to be quite a test for the Steelers to pull it all together. I kind of feel like Pickens might have a decent day if you're wavering on whether to start Pickens. I still believe, though, here talking about Jaylen Warren right now. So I just making sure I'm hearing stuff live. They're showing Jaylen Warren running right now. I just have a feeling Jaylen Warren scores a touchdown. So on Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty, I might remind you, promo code Smitty where Underdog will double your first deposit up to $100 just by using code Smitty. Specifically this link right here. Click that link, do it live. Link is in the description of every single video. But Underdog Fantasy, I kind of like these. I don't know that I necessarily group all of them together, although I did do one of these for $10. Just these three. I've been doing a lot of 3-pick-'em contests instead of 5 by choosing just Scorchers because you can get much more over the $100 per $5 if you're hitting these Scorchers just right. So I kind of like this Bailey Zappi 1.5 interceptions, or they have a 1.5 multiplier, so a Scorcher, or it might be 2, on Bailey Zappi, a fumble. So I think that's probably a good bet. Jaylen Warren 0.5 for or 0.5 rushing or receiving touchdown. That means all he has to do is score 1 touchdown receiving or rushing. Zeke Elliott 0.5 rushing or receiving, so just scores a touchdown. I kind of like these right here. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you like. Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. Hit that link. There's nothing better than doing a little Underdog Fantasy Pick'em or fantasy contest week number 14 Battle Royale, which one of our own won. Harrison won $30K doing the week, I think, was it week 13 or week 12? Battle Royale. He won it all. 30K. Harrison, our boy. Our viewer, our longtime viewer here. He called in. We talked about it. He had Devon Achane, of course. Of course he did. Of course he did. Of course he did. Of course he had the man known as Devon Achane.
Devon Achane, please report to your shuttle to Saturn. Your shuttle is leaving. Prepare for departure. Touchdown probability high.
Very high. Let's hit this news real quick. So this is kind of some crazy stuff just developing in Seattle. Let's see here. Zach Charbonnet returned. Let me get Zach Charbonnet's graphic a little bit bigger. Thank you, Najee, for your dedication to the game and playing and being active. We'll put him over there. Although I am rooting for Jaylen Warren. I want to add. Zach Charbonnet returned to Seattle practice Thursday, as did Kenneth Walker oblique, with both players getting slapped with the limited tags. This doesn't tell us a whole lot after Walker missed week 13 against Dallas and Charbonnet departed for the final drive. Both players are undoubtedly slapped with the questionable tags, and Coach Pete Carroll's not making any sense with it all, adding a lot of confusion, quote unquote. So we don't know what to do. I think we need to still plan as if both these guys aren't playing, but maybe later in the week we're giving good news. So let me get this Kenneth Walker news on screen too. So yeah, well, Bleak returned, but slap with the limited session. Same thing with Charbonnet, slap with the limited session. I'd be more worried about Charbonnet, but it seems like he might even be more likely to play. His knee issue concerns me greatly. There's so much swelling. You don't have that kind of swelling unless something's wrong. Najee, thank you, Najee, for your service again. ETN, appreciate this guy. Ribs limited Thursday, but fully expected to play. Everything I'm hearing, nobody's concerned about ETN suiting up for Week 14. Austin Eckler, this is a crazy little report here. Chargers head coach Brandon Staley said that competition for carries is going to be something that he can see happening. Eckler's been playing like dog water. I still believe that trading for him, if you could still trade, is still a fun proposition, but you have to buy low. This is why he was a total void on draft day. Probably one of our biggest stay-away players, and we nailed it. And we absolutely nailed it. I'm not celebrating a player's decline. I'm celebrating the accuracy of what I just said. But that doesn't mean I don't buy him. And I got to admit, like, I know, Pat, it's not all pats on the back. I traded for him and counted on him in the Marsman League because I bought him real low, I thought, and he still hasn't bounced back. Is there hope for Eckler to do something this year? I think so. I think he can muster up because he's still obviously banged up as he's getting healthier. Could Eckler start being more like a high-end running back too, and then kind of finish out the year in confusing fashion, maybe having a couple good games, and then some people are like, well, what do we expect next year? I think so. I think there's definitely a possibility. I need to turn my fan on here. I'm just dying of heat. Is my fan unplugged? What is going on here? Why is this fan not working? So Eckler's definitely a guy that, you know, we got to be concerned about this guy going forward. I mean, 28 years old is the new 30. When you turn 28, aside from Derrick Henry, Chris Henry, aside from Derrick Henry, there is no anomaly. You know, there's no anomaly. You either avoid a player at 28, or you run the risk of not picking that 1 in 100 that can do it at 28 years old. It's just your body breaks down. Now, some people will say, well, Smitty, then explain to me how Mostert is 57 years old. Because Mostert in his 30s, really he's in his 30s, didn't ever get workload equivalent to a top 5 running back. We're talking about top 5 running backs not being able to play at that elite level. Example, you know, you come into the league, you're a fantasy football monster for 5-6 straight years. That volume wear and tear is different than if you're a Jerick McKinnon. You never really got a shot. You're an older player. You just kind of keep trucking along. That's different. Mostert, Jerick McKinnon, those guys have never been workhorses and top 5 running backs and volume-wise for years and years and years straight. When that happens, that's when the 28-year rule applies. So we're talking about big monsters dropping off. We're talking about, you know, guys like even Alvin Kamara, but there are certain reasons to buy. Again, me wanting to purchase an Austin Eckler on the cheap right now, in a league right now that is still allows for trading, is a smart proposition because it has nothing to do with Austin Eckler's draft day value. Alvin Kamara was a 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th round pick. On Underdog, it was 7, 8, 9. On other platforms, it was around 5 or 6, 7. It was all over the place. Alvin Kamara crushed it, and he was worth that risk because he wasn't going to play a full season, and it was lined up perfectly. Alvin Kamara is an absolute league winner. Alvin Kamara has been probably one of the show's biggest offseason success stories by far, without question. He's an absolute menace. And actually, I think I have a Alvin Kamara. Yes, I do.
Alvin Kamara, a menace on the field and in casino elevators everywhere.
Run.
Don't forget to Kamara that like button.
Yeah, so Alvin Kamara is an absolute monster. Let's see, competition for carries. We got that one out of the way. Thank you very much. ETN, I did that one. I think there's a little bit more here. Amari Cooper still in the concussion protocol, not good for his likelihood of playing week number 14. Aaron Jones' knee was limited Thursday. This is trending in the right direction. Aaron Jones could be available. Keep tabs on that. We will know soon. Jonathan Taylor. Let's see here. Jonathan Taylor did not practice Thursday. There's some that think that he's gonna miss at least one more game. There's some people that think he's like actually possibly potentially capable of playing this week. There's reports all over the place. But I would say that if you own him, don't cut him, because he absolutely, has a chance to miss 1 or 2 more games. Like, he could miss this week and then next week and then potentially come back. It was a 3 to 5 week window that was opened up for JT. It wasn't like he was donezo for the year. Noah Brown upgraded to full participant. He needs to be in all lineups, I think, unless you're in very, very small leagues. And then Christian Watson, hamstring, said he's not sure if he'll play week 14, which is good news that we're even contemplating this, because it looked like a season-ending re-injury of the hammy. So that's good news. Let's hit these super chats. First super chat of the evening is from Isaac. Gets a standing O. Isaac, appreciate you, my guy. Isaac says, sucky position, Noah, Brown, or Pickens. It's so hard not to go with the Thursday night guy because you're watching him, but that's always a mistake to do it that way. I probably say like Noah Brown's pretty tempting, but Pickens is pretty damn good, bro. Pickens might be a tad safer. Noah Brown's coming back from injury, but he appears to be full go, and that's what this report says. Upgraded to full participant. I don't know. Chat, vote on that one. Noah Brown or Pickens? Pickens ain't a bad play. He ain't a bad play tonight. It's not ideal, but it's not bad. I would say Pickens is fine. If you need to go Pickens, go Pickens. I just, for some reason, I would lean Noah Brown given the big, huge potential he has if he's on point and he's just consuming. The matchup's tough, though. But the matchup's going to be more so tough for Collins than it will for Noah Brown, which is why I think Noah Brown might be a good play. But I don't know. Let's see what the chat thinks. The Jets are a tough matchup, but more so for Collins. I have Hurts. Do I start Dallas D or Patriots against Mitch Trubisky tonight? I'm still starting Dallas. I'm always starting Dallas. I'm not really playing, reasons why. I'm throwing the Cowboys who make plays into my lineup. But that's me. I just start the Cowboys and I don't even think about it. It's going to have some weeks where they do bad, but guess what? The weeks where you're contemplating sitting them and they blow up, you're not going to have to be stressed out during those outcomes, because I don't know, 1 out of maybe 4 of these, should I sit them or not, might end up being the right call, but 2 or 3 of them won't be. Must win, need flex, D, Hopkins, Deontay, Elijah Moore, Keaton Mitchell. I'd probably go Hopkins, I suppose, bro, but Keaton Mitchell's high risk, high reward. I don't hate that play, but it's certainly up for debate. I guess Hopkins just feels like the logical move, the safest move, but still a lot of upside. Must win. Maybe you wait a week on Keaton Mitchell. Just wait 1 week. Must win this week, Smitty. Start Kupp, Metcalf, or Ridley at wide receiver 2. I think you can't sit Metcalf given what he's doing, bro. But I do like Kupp a lot, and I'd be very tempted to throw Kupp in. And you can. Javonte or one. So I'm starting Kupp and Metcalf. And I'm not even losing sleep over it if it doesn't work out. That's the right decision. It's the right move. Sucks I have to choose between these two, but what does your gut say? Keep Mitchell or Warren tonight? I'd probably go Warren, bro. But that's close. I really like Keep Mitchell. It's just I think maybe waiting a week. You're on Fools Noticed. Red bar is watching. I don't know what that means, Smitty. I don't know what that means, bro. No idea what you're talking about. But I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Am I crazy for starting Warren over Najee tonight? Not crazy, but I mean, chat, who would you start, Warren or Najee? Don't think with our hearts, think with your minds. I'm not saying that means you say Najee. I'm just curious if anybody is leaning toward Warren or Najee in the chat. I'm leaning toward Warren. No, I'm leaning toward Najee. It feels like they want him to do well. I hate saying that, and I even have Warren scoring a touchdown. I I guess you lean Najee this week. That's what logic says. And the chat seems to agree so far. Two Najee votes in a row. Rockout, what's up?
Yeah, how you feel about the Steelers defense tonight?
Why is my fan not working? Steelers defense tonight. I think they're a pretty decent play. Didn't you see Ron Navy and I arguing like crazy last night about it?
Yeah, my other defenses, Cowboys and Jets, I don't really trust them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind. He was trying to tell me, well, let's bet on it then. When I really like both defenses this week. It was just a matter of I chose the Colts over the Steelers, and Ron didn't like that. But I mean, the points are in favor of what the Colts have been doing. They're the hottest defense in football for 4 straight weeks. But you take that out of the equation, and I still like the Steelers. I think it's a good play. You got Zappy. It's still a good defense, but I'd probably go with the Steelers.
Actually, the Colts are available too.
I personally, I would pick up the Colts and play the Colts, but that's me. but the Steelers could be good tonight, but the Colts are the hottest defense pretty much in football. They've been scoring like 18, 20, 15, whatever the hell it was. We looked over it last night. Here, I'll put it on screen if I can. The Colts have been blowing the freak up, man. They've been absolutely bonkers. All right, Colts. Yeah, Colts. The last 4 games, 27 points in this one league at least. 17 points, 12 points, and 20 points. 2 20-point games, one just under 20, and 12. That's freaking unbelievable. They've been on a tear. And granted, they played the Bengals this week, and Browning looked good, but Browning's not like cemented in yet. He looked really good. I came away from that game going, you can't trip and fall into what he did. He's very, very solid. He looked very, very poised. But let's keep in mind, who looked just as good as Browning? Can you name a quarterback that lately looked just as good as Browning, maybe even more exciting than Browning, maybe even had more hype as this team could go maybe a game or two into the playoffs and make the playoffs because he's playing so good right now, and this team was a genius for bringing him onto the roster. What quarterback am I talking about?
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I'm having brain fog.
Dobbs. Joshua Dobbs.
Yeah, Dobbs.
And then what did Dobbs do last week? 4 interceptions. I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying Browning's going to fail. I'm just saying that you can't look at Browning and go, oh God, I got to back off the, and this isn't directed at Ron's comment. I'm just saying why I'm making my case for the Colts. It has nothing to do with anybody else's take. The Colts defense is phenomenal. And I'm not scared away by Browning. Browning looked phenomenal, and I'm very excited about what Jamar Chase could now do with Browning under center. But Dobbs looked just as good as Browning did. And Dobbs fell apart, turned into a pumpkin. I hope he revives himself. I hope he gets a second chance to go to the ball, Cinderella. And maybe that happens with JJ back this week. But I'm just saying, let's not say the Colts can't penetrate the situation here. Colts have been doing it for 4 weeks, dropping loads.
They got last 2 games.
Yeah, Zeke or James Cook in flex. I'd probably say Zeke, man. I guess Zeke. I hope I don't regret answering that question that way. I would probably say Zeke. Drop Pickens or Elijah Moore. Elijah Moore? Handcuff, I have Cooper. Oh, handcuff, okay. Drop Pickens or Elijah Moore. I have Cooper. I would drop Elijah Moore. I don't think I could drop Pickens, but and Zeke or Cooper. Okay, I got that one. Zeke. I'll go Zeke. And then Jason, appreciate you. Christian Watson or Pickens or Beckham. I'm gonna go long term Watson, but this week because Watson's probably not gonna play Pickens. If that's a week 14 question. All right. Anything else? Rock out.
What do you think Trubisky's going to do tonight?
Mixed bag. Is he capable? I hope Malik Cunningham gets a shot to do a little something tonight. My hopeful prediction, or not I wouldn't even call it a prediction because I don't know what's going to happen. I would say I'm going to be hoping and rooting for all night. Ziggy, show me the front yard. I'll be rooting. Yes, I'll be rooting for Malik Cunningham to get take over the offense for the Patriots by the third quarter. That's my hope.
Right.
That's my hope. As for Trubisky, they don't have that luxury. I just think he's gonna have a mixed bag. I think he'll do some good, he'll do some bad. This is a quarterback that always seems to disappoint Trubisky. So, but he has the support of a defense, a really good defense. Oh man, every time I see Warren walk out, I'm just picturing a touchdown. I hope I'm right. I hope I'm right about Warren. I don't even know how to answer that Najee Harris Warren question because my heart wants to say Warren so bad. I think the workers are gone from my yard. Ziggy, show me the backyard. Man, they bailed quick. Okay. They're coming tomorrow to finish it up. They were supposed to finish today, but my yard is pretty much done. Ziggy off. That looks fun. I can't. I'm gonna start doing live streams from the backyard. Everything is pretty much done. I think the backyard's completely done, so technically I could try and live stream from it tonight, but we'll see. All right, anything else, Rock Out, as Trubisky runs onto the field?
Yeah, that's it for right now. Appreciate it.
All right, rock out to the moon, bro. Later. All right, Zeke or Swift? I'm going Swift. It's a good question, though, and it wouldn't surprise me if Zeke outscored him, but I think that's one where I draw the line and say I can't. Jaylen Warren, baby. Hopefully he has a good day. It sucks Jaylen Warren's momentum got cut short. It really does. Hit that like button if you're in here, guys. Just lingering without doing so. 40 thumbs up. We got 209 people in here. Punch that thumb up button. We won't be here long. We don't really do a long Thursday 8 p.m. show because the game starts. I usually watch a drive or two with you guys, and then I bail, and then I come back at the end of it all, and we discuss the end of the game and talk about what to do going forward. A lot of you will have potential, game. You might have a player that didn't do well, a player that did do well. You might be facing somebody on Thursday night that did well, and you got dilemmas. So I'll be back here for that. Give Zeke going. What is this saying by David? What are you saying, David? Oh, here it is. Let me pull it over here. Guy, Zeke going to give you a B. I don't know what that means, David. What's up, Oscar?
Hey, what's up, Smitty?
What's up?
Hey, I was just calling in because I actually have a Dynasty question.
Uh-huh.
So I'm not going to be making the playoffs this year, but I do have some older wide receivers, kind of like Diggs and Mike Evans. I was just wondering to see what would be a good trade to try to get future picks, or I guess what would be a good trade in general when it comes down to Dynasty with those players.
I mean, of course I like picks, but no one's going to give you the 1.1, the 1.2, 1.3 probably for Diggs, but you could try. I think this is a move that unfortunately I know that you're asking me now, but you got to do before like there's any sense of drop off with the player that's getting older. Now Diggs has a bad vibe to him. Like maybe, he's older and this is a move you need to make before you try and anticipate what person is going to have what pick, and you preemptively trade for an owner that for his pick that thinks he's going to have a better year than he's gonna, and then you end up with a 1 or 2 overall pick by trading Diggs mid-season. Now I don't think you're just giving away Diggs, and I would rather keep him and ride him one more season than give him away for a late first round pick. So unfortunately for you, it's too late. I mean, you could try. Maybe somebody gives away their 1 or 2 overall pick. I mean, I certainly would throw an offer out there, but I'm just saying it's almost too late to do that. You got to do that before the picks are known. Now people are starting to realize what they might have. But I certainly wouldn't be tempted. Past that, I mean, it's like a player and a pick. Now, would I trade Diggs to somebody? Can you trade next week, or is it a deadline like right now?
Yeah, this week is the deadline, so I was trying to see if I can get it. Maybe one of the contending teams to trade. And I was thinking that kind of like a player and a pick. But
I'm going after Achan, who seems to have some doubt for some whatever reason. I'm going after wide receivers that like Olave, who people question their future. I go after Breece Hall, who people question their future. I go after Gibbs, who had has had 2 bad games, and people are already thinking, oh my God, this is the end for him. I'm just trying moves like that, man. I'm trying to upgrade my quarterback. Go after Mahomes, who's playing like dog water. Mahomes is probably pretty easy to get in a trade. Things like that, bro. I'm not giving him away. I know a lot of people do that. You give him away for like a late first-round pick. I could care less about a late first-round pick, bro. Like, think about who the late first-round picks have been this year. Like, I mean, you're better out. You might hit a second-round pick before you hit a late first-round pick. Tank Dell was a second-round pick. Like you could accumulate like 2.1, 2.3, 2.4 and try and hit on those guys, but like I don't want to force myself to get a Quentin Johnston, for Diggs. Just ride Diggs one more year.
Got it.
All right, Oscar.
Thank you.
All right, later. Charles.
Hey, I have a question I have too. Would you start Zeke over Swift or Gibbs?
No. Over Gibbs? What are you talking about, Gibbs? Charles? Come on, man. Hey, anything could happen, bro. Let me back off. Let me back off. Let me calm down a little.
Okay.
Could Zeke Elliott outscore Gibbs? Absolutely possible. Anybody could outscore anybody. Juju Smith-Schuster right now, sitting on the bench here, could have a better game than St. Brown. like anything can happen. But bro, Gibbs, I mean, do I have to throw it on screen if I could even find it? Like, I don't understand this. I don't understand. Is this it right here? Where is it? Hopefully this is it. Is that it? That doesn't look like. Yeah, is that it? Yeah, this is it. This looks like Gibbs's game log. It was running back 3 in week 7, running back 8 running back 3 in week 7, running back 1 in week 8 bye week, running back 2 in week 10, running back 3 in week 11. And then what does he do? Yeah, 2 bad games in a row where you could say, what were they really bad games, broski? Were they? I mean, look at the yards per carry. 4.91 yards per carry, 7.5 yards per carry. This isn't a Gibbs problem. This is a usage problem, which is his problem. But like, you're really gonna ask a question, Charles, about putting.
Well, the reason why is I have Cook, I have Gibbs, I have Swift. I picked up Zeke off the waiver because I knew he was going to take most of the work.
I like Zeke tonight. He's pretty decent. And again, could Zeke outscore Gibbs in one single week? Anybody can outscore anybody. But the man Gibbs was running back 3, 1, 2, and 3. And back to back weeks. I think he's earned a couple, mediocre games. And you would be kicking yourself if he went out there and had a 30, 40-point game. Look at these scores, man. 27 points, 29 points, 26 points, 21 points. Running back 3, 1, 2, 3. I just don't I don't know how why do we give up on players after 1 or 2 games?
Right.
Anything can happen, bro. Zeke is a phenomenal find for somebody that got devastated at RB and has no RB tonight or this week. And now you got Zeke Elliott potentially capable of punching in a touchdown. That's great. And he probably will look pretty decent. I think Zeke, like I said on my waiver wire show, I believe, and the show after, Zeke doesn't have enough in the tank to play a full year. It's great that he has only week 14, 15, 16, 17 that you're worried about. 4 games that he can put his everything into it to try and make up for the fact that he isn't the same player. he might squeak out a little bit better than normal production than he's capable of because he gets to do it in such a short amount of window, short window. He doesn't have to, if you do it for 15 games, you're going to have to recover each week, and it's going to get harder and progressively harder at his age. He gets 4 games to just come out here and pop off. Or maybe he doesn't even, play the 4. We'll see. But
hey, I have one more question.
Yeah.
Would you start Fergie over Kelsey? No.
Finish him.
Hello?
Call terminated.
Hello?
Come on, bro. Hey, Smitty. I'm on the fence. Deontay Johnson or Noah Brown in my flex. I'm going. Let me leave this one to Ron Navy, who's on the phone right now. First of all, Perps, $20 hauler.
Alert.
Perps.
Super chat alert.
Perps, appreciate your $20 hauler. You're an absolute legend on the channel. Ron doesn't like Deontay. I don't like Deontay, but I want to get a Steelers mindset here real quickly before I say Noah Brown, end of story, no question about it. Noah Brown does have a tough matchup. It is the Jets, but real quickly, Ron, because the game's starting, Deontay or Noah Brown? Noah Brown, it's Collins I'm more worried about than Noah Brown, but go ahead.
I want to say Noah Brown, even though because Trubisky sucks and Deontay Stonehands, but Trubisky uses Deontay more than he uses Pickens or any other receiver. So
yeah, that is true.
I mean, I wouldn't start Deontay, but he could get a lot of targets from Trubisky, who sucks. I'd go personally with Noah Brown, even though you thought I was going to say, not you, but Perps thought say Johnson.
Yeah, I go Noah Brown too, Perps, but Ron's right. Actually, Trubisky and Deontay are a thing, similar to Pickett and Pickens. So there is that. So if you did go with them and you couldn't change it in time, there's a lot of hope that he does get a lot of targets. Thank you, Perps. Perps to the moon. Perps, you're the man. Ron, hang tight. Let me get these super chats out of the way in case they're right now. Harris or Mitchell? I'm going Harris. Edgar, I know you might have already. The kickoff is like right now. I think Harris is smarter. Mitchell's fun, exciting, but like that's the one where like you regret it in the morning. It's like the bright idea you have at midnight. I think we just watched Mitchell this week in that situation, and then next week you'll know what to do. You think Brees plays? I think so, but we'll have to wait and see. Warren or Hall? I probably would have went Warren because Hall's questionable, and at least you know what's going on now. I appreciate your $2 super chat. Sorry it was timed in a crunch, but I would have probably went Warren. But either one's a great play, and either one could go nuts. I just think that you kind of got to go with what you got right now, and you don't know if Brees will for sure play. Drop. Let's see here. Drop Murray to grab Goddard. Drop Kyler Murray to grab Goddard. I have Fields and no other tight end. I'm not dropping Kyler Murray. There's got to be somebody else, Kevin, that you can drop. I'm not going to drop Kyler Murray. I mean, you'd have to give me your... who's down, Ron?
Who do you think? TJ Watt.
Oh, my God.
First play.
I don't know if I should have you on the phone right now.
He got hit in the chest. He'll be all right.
Warren or Hall? Yeah.
By Zeke.
All right. Hey, Ron. Anything you have right now? I gotta go do something with the yard in a minute, so I was gonna close the phone line down. What can I do for you, pal? What are you thinking?
Yeah, it's either work in the yard or fall asleep watching this game, right? That's the choice.
Yeah, those are the two.
I think it's going to be a score like 6-9 or something like that.
Yeah. Well, I'll be watching on my phone.
If we get score.
I'll be watching on my phone. I just got to lock up my gate. I got to do all these things and then there's a yard guy that's gonna, I think, come by and talk to me real quick about tomorrow. Tomorrow they're wrapping up and it'll all be done. But I'll be back for the recap after the show. But anything else?
Nope. I'm still rooting for my Steelers. I just don't have much faith with Trubisky in there, but we'll see.
All right, Ron Navy to the moon. Later, pal.
Later.
Sebastian, you got 20 seconds.
Got it. I have already clinched the number 1 seed,
Can I start Keaton Mitchell over Zach Moss? Because there's no risk of me falling to the number 2 seed just for fun.
Just for fun. It's just the same. Did you ask me? Who was the one that asked me this question last night? The for fun thing. Is that you again?
No, I wasn't.
Somebody called in. They're like, "Should I just start so and so for fun?" I mean, bro, if there's no risk to it, you do whatever you want. You don't need my approval. To throw your whole bench in. See if you could win. See if you could beat your opponent with your entire bench. Like, I don't know. But, I mean, if you ask me, like, who do I play, Zach Moss or Keaton Mitchell, I'm playing Zach Moss every time. Like, I don't know that I'm messing around with it. Yeah. But that's just right now. Like, Keaton Mitchell off a big game, his value could change. But I don't know. Right now, I don't know that I'm just – if it makes you happy, bro. I don't know.
If Christian Watson plays, I'll start him over JJ.
I mean, I wouldn't start him. I know you're joking. I think, but all right, bro, go have fun. Go have fun.
Yeah. All right.
That's the second time in 48 hours somebody's asked if they should do something and try it out. Give it a whirl. Should I just? I've already clinched the playoffs. Should I just give it a try? Should I test it out? Like it's gonna do anything to test it out by having him in your lineup or out of your lineup. I would just monitor the player. I don't know that I'm. Sure, throw your whole bench your entire team. Take an L. Drop Kyler Murray. Again, I don't know about this one. I can't drop Kyler Murray. Number one, you got to play defense, bro. You don't want someone just getting a quarterback. What do the other teams that are left have at quarterback? Are you giving them, Kyler Murray, and then now all of a sudden you're going to lose? I'm not saying Kyler Murray's the best ever, but like he's a good quarterback to add for somebody that's in trouble. Zappy's moving the ball pretty decent against the Steelers D here on this first drive. 12 minutes and 27 seconds left in the first quarter, and they're moving down the field. TJ Watt already down. It looks like he went back in. CMC to Pluto, says Trump. What's going on? Perps with another $20 hauler. What a monster.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Zeke Elliott, running sluggish, but effectively. No, Ron, I knew you would say no to old Stonehands, LOL, although you're a Steelers fan. Thanks, Smitty and Ron. It's a good thing I had Brown in the flex. Too late to change it. Let's go. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that you're going to – they could score the same. They're that kind of tier of player, you know what I mean? I just think Noah Brown's done it. I love the fact that he's being injected into the number 2 role now. And, we miss Tank Dell greatly, but that Noah Brown's going to be pretty good. Zappy in the gun. Throws it to old Zeke Elliott, who scores a touchdown. Zeke Elliott. Zeke, my boy. So far, so good. Ziggy off. Shut up, Ziggy. Look at this. So far, we've got the one tutty down. Zeke Elliott. Sorry, I'm having trouble. Ziggy, shut up. 1.25 for Elliott. Every time I say his name. There we go. Elliott touchdown. Okay. It's a good thing. Thank you, Perps. Appreciate you. Perps to the moon. Well, yeah, and Ron, what's going on with the Steelers defense here? Ron says, unreal. Walked in for so much for the Steelers defense, LOL. I know, in the big old hot debate, they could still do something in this game, but the big old hot debate we had last night. You would have thought I was a crazy man last night. That's Bailey Zappi that just did that. Charles Smith, Smitty the GOAT. Smith the GOAT, go Zeke. Thank you, Charles. Appreciate you. Tomlin should be fired, says Ron Navy. Yeah, Ziggy just wants to be a part of the show. Ziggy, shut up. Ziggy, how old is Zeke Elliott?
Ezekiel Elliott is 28 years old.
28.
He was born on July 22nd, 1995, in Alton, Illinois.
Ziggy, how old is Raheem Mostert?
Raheem Mostert is 31 years old. He was born on April 9th, 1992.
See, he's and again, when you talk about 28-year-old running backs, it doesn't really apply as much to spot duty guys or guys that did not do it for a long time. It's more so like Eckler, and Derrick Henry is the only anomaly, really. And I don't think you ever want to count on somebody doing what Derrick Henry did because it's really hard. Like 1 in 100 running backs are going to be able to thrive at the age of 28, let alone do what Henry's doing at 29. He really is a case study. Cito says Zeke is only 28. Yeah, but 28 is the end for running backs. It's the end. It's the end. Look at Austin Eckler. It's the end for elite workhorse running backs. Elliott's at his end. He's at his end. Eckler's at his end. Kamara's in his final last hurrah. Alvin Kamara, absolute monster, in his final last hurrah.
Alvin Kamara, a menace on the field and in casino elevators everywhere.
Run.
Don't forget to Kamara that like button.
All right, we got one drive here, and then I'm gonna jump and come back and do a little recap show. But hit that thumb up button on your way in and out of the door. We got 141 of you in here, and only 64 people have hit that thumb up button. I know. I wish I was 28 too. 28 is a young man, but in football, it's an old man. Football years, it's like dog years. All right, Steelers returning the ball a little bit past the 30-yard line. Trubisky running out onto the field. Let's see what Trubisky is able to do. He's looking at his sleeve, looking at the plays. I think he's a little worried there's too many of them on there. He's reading it off. He's saying, let's go blue, 32 hatchback 7, execute left. And then he's going to turn around and say, Jaylen Warren, help me out. Just take the ball, please. But we know that it's Najee in there. God, I want Warren to get his opportunity. I'm so pissed off about this. Trubisky running, which is something he does do well. Moves the football with his feet, and that's what makes him have a mixed bag game. Someone said on the phone, right? I think it was Rock Out. How do you feel about Trubisky this game? And my answer was mixed bag. He's going to do some things good. He's going to move the football. Might score, lead to some scoring drives. But are there boneheaded mistakes on the way? Sure. And will he saturate Deontay Johnson with targets? Probably. So that's why that was kind of a tough question earlier, the Deontay or Noah Brown question. Trubisky under center. Snaps the football, hands it to Zeke Elliott to the left. Not much room to run. Zeke falls forward, about 2-yard gain. Second down, probably about 7 or 8 yards. Tomlin's looking around, saying to himself, why isn't Jaylen Warren in there? Why don't I just get the cojones to just pull Najee out and just stick my best player, my playmaker, the best and most explosive player on the team. Let's put the most explosive player on the field. Why not? I just got an idea. Why don't we play the best running back we have? I know Najee's been looking good, but so would Warren in all of those carries that Najee had last week, the week prior. He's just not as good of a running back as Jaylen Warren. He's not. And it sucks to watch him have good success and then they think it's Najee. It's not. It would be Warren. Warren would be doing more with the carries that Najee's getting. Did I say Zeke? I meant Najee. All right, Trubisky in the gun. There's Jaylen Warren. Jaylen Warren in the game. Jaylen Warren's blocking, hanging out in the flat. Trubisky throws an interception to the New England Patriots. This is kind of, Ron, what I was talking about last night, is that I just think that the defense is going to get tired out too, on top of everything else. You got Trubisky throwing a pick right here, and now the defense is back on the field, and it's just like, it sucks. It's gonna be a breakdown. Get some good food, Smitty. Rest, Cito. I'm fine, but I appreciate you. Cito to the moon. But I don't need to rest. This is me resting. This is my resting face. Charles, Smitty, thank you, Charles. Appreciate your super chat, pal. Charles to the moon. Why do people always say, "Hey, Smitty, why don't you go rest?" You want me to leave? Big O, what's up, pal? No TD. TD's called back. In the gun, Trubisky's going to try it again. Does he throw another interception? Throws it to George Pickens. Okay. Thank you, Cito. Appreciate you. All right. Can we get Jaylen Warren the football? It's not a request. It's more of like a demand. Come on, Jaylen. Jalen's in the game. He's in the backfield. There he is, number 30. Let's do it live. Pitch to Jalen. Gets wrapped up right away. Damn it. Amit. Get to the chopper, Jalen. Damit. If Jaylen Warren scores, I will yell, "Get to the chopper," and make a helicopter sound. Get to the chopper, Jaylen. Come on. He's back. He's still in the game. He's in motion. Lines up wide, then runs back into the backfield, right next to Trubisky in the gun. Warren's blocking. Trubisky gets smashed. 4th down. Steelers just can't. Trubisky's just, he reminds me of Zach Wilson. Capable of running, scrambling, getting a 50-yard run by himself. Getting a first down, throwing a nice pass here and there. I feel like Zach Wilson and Trubisky are very much the same. They're so frustrating when they're in there because their coach thinks they're doing pretty good, and I think Ron can attest to this, that back in the potential Pickett Trubisky changeover, when we were waiting for it to happen, it was like Trubisky would do just enough to keep Tomlin interested, and it was like, God, you just wanted Pickett to get in there, right? It's like same thing with Zach Wilson. Now Zach Wilson's back. Thank you, Charles. Charles to the moon. Charles to the moon. All right, we're gonna watch this next drive, and that's it. Smitty put on the Arnold. I will put on the Arnold graphic and everything if Jaylen Warren scores. Kyren or ETN? Cito, you don't sit Kyren.
He's Kyren, he's 7 feet tall, and he knows how to handle a ball. He's Kyren, he can take frowns and turn them upside down with his touchdowns.
You never, ever bench Kyren. You just don't do it. Find another way to get ETN into your lineup, but you don't bench Kyren. You know what I'm saying, broski? Kyren's a monster. But that is not to say I don't want ETN also in your flex role or something. But Kyron's your running back one, unless you're living in 4-man leagueville. If you're in a 4-man league, maybe you do have a better running back than Kyron. But Kyron's a top 5 running back. Sebastian might be on the right track, saying you don't consider benching either of them, but I don't know who he owns. I don't know who he is, but we don't sit Kyron.
He's Kyron, he's 7 feet tall, and he knows how to handle a ball. He's Kyron, he can take frowns and turn them upside down with his touchdowns.
Beast of a man. All right, Scared Scott's, this is the final caller of the night, then I'm out of here. Scared Scott, what can I do for you?
I'm scared of ETN.
I bet you are.
If Trevor doesn't play this weekend, their backup quarterback's hurt. ETN, I don't think you can play him.
I wouldn't say that. I would say that it definitely makes it easier to say you don't sit Kyron. But, I mean, ETN's still a good running back. There's still a chance that Trevor Lawrence plays. But even if he doesn't, they're still going to run the ball. I don't think he's as good a play as he would be, but
I think it's pretty off.
It depends on your situation. Depends on what you got, bro.
I don't think he's built to do a stack, something that's stacked on him.
Yeah.
And they'll stack the box.
Well, they might, but what's your alternative? You know what I mean? We gotta figure that out before we can tell somebody to sit ETN. Oh, just sit ETN. Well, I don't have anybody else. Well, why'd you listen to Scared Scott?
Well, I get that.
Zeke Elliott in the backfield. This guy's going to get a lot of work today. Zappy airing it out, almost intercepted.
Later,
Scott. Just blanket statement, sit ETN from Scott. Smitty sounds like Milli Vanilli. Thanks, pal. I'll take that as a compliment. Travis says, Scott called just to tell Smitty he's terrified of ETN. ETN's hiding in my closet, Smitty. Yeah, Zeke Elliott's just going to get like 3.5 yards per carry, but just get fed. And, he's the kind of guy that can handle it for 4 or 5 games. He's going to be ridiculously inefficiently efficient. Inefficiently efficient. TJ Watt keeps getting hit in the face and he's getting rocked in this game. Start Ingram or Kincaid. I'm not sitting Kincaid, but I don't blame it on the rain. I don't sit Kincaid. Not yet. Not now. Okay. Zappy down to the 40-yard line. Hunter Henry, potential flag. Looks like this is coming back. Zappy's not happy, so I think it's coming back. Henry looks upset. It's coming back. Charles, you can call Charles, who I hung up on, if you want to call back in again, if you got a final question. He asked me if he should bench Kelsey, so I hung up on him. I'm going against Lamb, B. Cooks, Dak. Zappy now backed all the way up to the 18-yard line. They were just on the 40. Zeke Elliott catching balls now. Getting his PPR game on. Zeke's going to have a nice little day. Here's Charles. Charles calling back. Charles, I look, rules are rules. You say something I just can't even compute. I sometimes disconnect on you. But what can I do for you, pal? Don't sit Travis Kelce, please.
No, I have a defense question. Baltimore or Indy's defense?
I'm going. That's a tough one.
Oh, so I I redeemed myself from asking about the Kelsey question.
Yeah, I mean Baltimore's a good D, so but I just think Indy's so hot right now.
Right.
I just don't think. But let me see something real quick. Let me pull up a couple things and give you a little bit more of my research and time. Hold on. Defense. I mean, they're the second to fourth, depending on the platform you're using, projected team this week. So they're projected for a nice amount of points, but I don't know how much I trust these projections because I'm even looking at it, and it's like the Colts are 4, though. They rank the Colts 4th. But on the year, in this particular league, Baltimore is coming in around 8, and the Colts are coming in. Oh no, hold on. That's wrong. That's wrong. Sorry, I had some kind of filter on. The Baltimore Ravens are number 1.
Mm-hmm.
And the Colts are 2. Okay, that looks right. Is that right? That can't be right. Is that right? Season. Hold on a second. Stats season 2023. No, this can't be right. Hold on. Hold on a second, bro. Sorry.
No worries.
They're 2. Okay, they're coming in 2. I was like, where's Dallas? There was some stupid filter on my search that I was doing on it. Dallas is 1. Baltimore's 2. I was wondering like how Dallas wasn't 1 still. Dallas is 1. Baltimore's 2. Indy's 3. Pittsburgh's 4. Buffalo's 5. So you're not like crazy to go either one of them. I mean, they could score the exact same. Baltimore has had a similar run to the Colts. The last 4 games, they've been 16, 14, 6, and 18. And really, you could go back to like the last 6 games and say 16, 7, 16, 14, 6, 18. So they're on a tear. They got the Rams. I think the Rams, the only thing I would say about the Rams, bro, is they're a tricky team. And, you know, I'm not saying that they're like a Super Bowl contending team, but they're trying to make a run right now. They're motivated, and they've got weapons that are so widespread that it's tough to like defend them. Even if they walk into like example a Niners situation, a Niners D is gonna have trouble containing this dynamic offense that's got so many weapons. And Puka Nacua is obviously back on track. I believe Cooper Kupp is going to continue to play well down the stretch. Kyron's just top 3 running back in the league right now, easily.
Right.
Top 3, top 4 play every week, and Stafford's playing out of his mind right now, considering what the expectation was. Najee getting the carry up the gut. So I would go, if it were me, I would go Indy, but that's me.
Okay, thanks, Benny.
All right, later,
Have a
bro.
good one.
Ron Navy.
Hey, look at Trubisky. Does he not look like Tony Romo when he's got his helmet on? He looks like they're
a little bit
twins.
A little bit in the eyes, yeah.
Yeah,
he plays like Zach Wilson. He plays like Zach Wilson. That's what I was saying earlier. It's like he does enough to make his coach think there's something there, and it pisses you off. I know it does to you because he kept keeping the job when you were wanting that changeover when Pickett finally took over. But Trubisky launches a missile downfield, and there's nobody there.
Accurate.
There's nobody there. The New England Patriot players couldn't even catch it.
Goodbye. See, you could do your game recap right now, basically.
Yeah, Trubisky just throwing it. All right, I'm out of here for sure this time. All right, Ron, thank you.
Later, bye.
Later. All right, guys, I'll see you after the game. We'll do a recap show. Thank you all for your super chats. Thank you, Perps, for dropping the 20 wads on screen. Perps, you're an absolute legend, super chat monster here. Thank you, Ron Navy. Thank you, everybody. Isaac was the first super chatter. Thank you, Mr. Frost. Mick, appreciate you. Matt, Jay Brantley. Thank you, Satu. Thank you, Hoovy. Thank you, Balake. Appreciate you, Balake. Crooked. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Edgar. Thank you, Sherman. Thank you, Perps. Thank you, Zen. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Perps. Thank you, Charles. Thank you, Charles. Thank you, Charles. Appreciate you all. I'll see you all after the game.